Did this young Texas mother unalive her two sons while they slept at night? I'm not so sure. On June 6, 1996, at 2:30 a.m., a frantic call came into 911. Darlie Routier was on the other line. The 911 call went on for more than 5 minutes. In that time, Darlie explained that her and her two sons were attacked in their living room while they slept. Her husband, Darren, and her other son, who was an infant, was sleeping upstairs. She said the attacker came in and stabbed her two young sons and cut her on the neck. Police arrived in 3 minutes, and Darlie continued to explain that she followed the attacker to the garage. She saw the knife on the ground, picked it up, and put it on the counter. Police thought that Darlie's story wasn't adding up. First, the 911 call, Darlie says that she already picked up the knife. She says, quote, "God, I bet if we could have gotten prints, maybe. So why was she so concerned and obsessed with the prints on the knife? The 911 call raised many flags. There was blood trails, but no blood splatter where Darlie says the intruder threw the knife down before going out into the garage. There was a ton of blood around the sink. Many people think this is where Darlie cut her own neck. That's also what doctors were thinking. The wounds to Darlie were superficial. However, the boys were cut all the way through. The garage window was cut in a T pattern. But what was the motive? Nothing was taken from the home, even with jewelry out on the counter. The knife that was used from Darlie's house, and that is a big red flag. Even when Darlie's superficial wounds, she is pictured with her arm black and blue from fighting off someone. But what could have been the motive for Darlie to unalive her sons? Now, if you are just as confused as I am, trust me, it gets crazier. Darlie had a birthday party for one of her sons at their gravesite. She is on camera smiling, dancing, and spraying silly string on the grave. This is what jurors saw of this mother, and they pinned her a monster. They ended up convicting Darlie Routier of capital unalive of her 5-year-old son, Damon. She sits on D row right now. Here is one last piece, and I will leave you with this confusing part of the puzzle. A sock from the Routier house was found 75 feet down the street. This sock had blood from both of the boys. When first responders got to the scene, one of the boys was still alive. She wouldn't have had the time to dispose of the sock fast enough. But here is what I wonder. If the sock was from the assailant, why did it only have the boy's blood and not Darlie's? So what do you think? Do you think that Darlie Routier did this? Or do you think a woman sits on D row that is innocent? Leave me a comment below.